A beautiful morning to you. Thank you for staying with us this morning. This is newspaper headlines analysis. I'm Oloayemi Adelako, and I'm not alone in the studio. I have with me Lekon Shibowale, who is going to help me make sense of the top stories this morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm very well. All right, let's start from this headline that says presidential prerogative of mercy at review state not final. That's coming from AGF, and this is an headline on Nigerian Tribune. What do you make of this? Because Nigerians were talking, they had a lot to say about the fact that, most of these persons on the list, some are drug, barons, terrorists and bandits and the likes. There's even this Miriam Sanda, who killed her husband in 2020 and was convicted. And now the federal government is saying, okay, all these lists are still under review. They are not final. Some names might even be taken out. What do you make of this, honestly?
Yes, I think the presidency at this stage needs to be very careful.
Okay. And
especially those that are managing the affairs of the president. They must be very, very careful. They've been taking so many things for granted. They are making a lot of errors, a lot of mistakes. This is not really the first time that something like this will be happening. There is a committee for the prerogative of mercy, and they are the one that selects and recommend. And this will move to the Attorney General of the Federation, Lateef Fagbemi. We all know Lateef Fagbemi. He's an Ibadan-based senior legal practitioner. Some of us have, sometimes worked for him. We know him to be a man of honesty and integrity. He should have, I don't know, maybe it's due to his busy schedule or tight schedule, I don't understand. Because he should have looked at all these things, and make all necessary corrections and adjustments before the list was released to members of the public. I just read this morning that the presidency or the president may drop some of the names. That means the president has not even approved the list before the list was made public. That is not too good.
And that was an error on the part of the president. And
it's an error from the part of the presidency. Not even the president, the likes of the chief of staff, the Attorney General of the Federation, the private secretary of the president. That is a very great error from that side. So, okay. And this is not the first time. This is like maybe the third or fourth. So they need to be very careful. All these things, they are just embarrassing the president. They are embarrassing the president. It's not good. I heard someone saying yesterday, 2 days ago, that the president pardoned, in that list, we have almost 53, 54 drug cartels, convicted drug cartels. And on the same list, we have a kidnapper, a big-time kidnapper that has terrorized almost 6-7 states, being pardoned. And so, and someone was saying that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu pardoned, because they saw 54 drug cartels in the list. The man said, President Tinubu pardoned the people from his constituency. Do you know what that means? You are allegedly referring to the president as a drug cartel. It's not good, because how will the federal government just wake up in one day and pardon 54, 56 drug cartels? It speaks volume. It speaks a lot of things about our presidency and about the federal government. So those that are managing the president must have some, they need to, I don't know, I don't want to use, but seriously, it is very embarrassing.
Because I want to believe this is not the first time that a Nigerian president will pardon some persons, and it did not lead to, this big issue that we're seeing.
As a reporter on the field, I cannot even count how many times I've visited some of the prisons in your state with a governor or CJ. There is a process. It's a lot. Sometimes we go to the prison like Abolongo in Oyo. Sometimes we go there 8 a.m. Sometimes we leave 6 p.m., 7 p.m., sometimes 8 p.m., even in this Agodi prison. Sometimes we leave 8 p.m. because it's a long process. The CJ or the governor will sit down. They will bring out some of the files. He or she will now start studying the files. If they can brought out like 50 files, then he or she can just pick maybe 20 files. You go through the files, they will now start calling the people one by one, asking them questions. At the end of it, maybe out of the 20 files selected, maybe only 10 will be pardoned. So it's a long, it's not just something that you just wake up one morning, they now call your people from everywhere. Do you have anybody in prison that you want president to pardon? That is not that should not be the way. You know, it's a very, it should be a very stringent conditions. You know, a very stringent recommendation. It's not that you now start, you know, your sister-in-law that stabbed her husband in 2017. Let me add this name so that the president can pardon her. It is rubbish.
All right, let me link a certain story to this particular story. I think yesterday I read a story where the Sultan of Sokoto, said that the social media should be regulated, and Nigerians are saying no. We do not support that because the social media is the only way Nigerians can actually check the excesses of government, just like what happened with this presidential pardon. Do you think the social media should be regulated? Because he is saying, okay, some persons will just wake up just because you can buy data and then they insult people.
See, I 100% agree with Sultan of Sokoto. Social media must, not should, must be well regulated. I mean, we have professions in this country. We have MBA, we have NMA, we have agencies. See, even the teachers, they are being regulated by Teacher Registration Council of Nigeria, TRCN. Yoruba will say, you have to regulate. You just look at our social media platforms. Go to Facebook. The most common of them is Facebook. You just go there, you see people posting naughty things, posting, so many terrible things. Some will even be castigating the president. Some will even be castigating their governor. Someone that has not even offended you castigate. So it is important for government to regulate the social media. See, some people are likely regulating Nigerian social media to what happened in Nepal. No, there are two different things. The problem, the crisis in Nepal started many years ago. It's just that the social media thing, just as if you are putting petrol to fire. You understand? So it is not the Nepal issue was not the same thing with what Sultan of Sokoto was saying. Sultan of Sokoto was saying that, see, we are journalists. You understand? By the time we now have Facebook journalists now. They do copy and paste, and they just add one or two things. They just put on Facebook. You understand? Even for us as journalists, even for journalists as a profession, the profession is being how will I put it? The profession is being is going down day by day because of all these unregulated social media platforms. So I agreed. Not only that they must be regulated with a very strict sanctions.
Would that help matters? Would that not escalate issues? Because when the Twitter ban happened, I mean, a lot of youths, even elderly ones, complained.
We are not saying they should ban Facebook. Nobody is talking about banning social media. What we are saying is that you have to regulate what comes up on social media. Don't put on social media what you are not sure of. That is what we are saying.
Okay.
You don't get see on some of the social media you just see they will just announce the death of someone that is still living. All because they want traffic.
Clicks
on their page. You don't understand. So all these things must stop. It is not good. Someone lives in US. His father lives in Nigeria, and his father is a social media person. He just click a celebrity. He just click on TikTok. He saw them announcing the death of his daughter. The man nearly died. It is wrong now because you want clicks, because you want traffic, because you want likes. It doesn't make sense. So this must be well regulated with stringent sanctions. What you are not sure of, don't put it there. What can cause uproar, can steer violence, you don't put it on social media. Social media is not for wrong information. See, as a journalist, as a blogger, as a social media content creator, most times if I need information on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, I can go to President, because there are some people that manages his social media platform. I can go to a social media platform. If I don't get what I really need there, I go to the Facebook page of Bayo Ononuga, who is the presidential spokesperson. Sometimes I need information on EFCC. I go to that social media platform. That is the essence of social media platforms. If you want to get information, you go there. They put some of these informations there. You get whatever you want to get and leave. It's not as if I want to update my website. I go to meet to agencies platform. I get some of the news stories, and that is the essence of a social media. You understand? Not that you just take on one money, you just cut someone's picture, you just put RIP, people will now be they now be clicking, they will now be like, it doesn't make sense. You understand?
Right.
So
Okay.
there must be a well-regulated social media platforms, all social media platforms. Nobody is talking about banning.
Okay.
Regulate, let it be regulated with sanctions. Anybody that violated it, it should be dealt with.
Okay, I think it's a fine place to leave that story. Let's check out this headline that says, "My agenda for INEC." That's coming from Amukpito. And he's saying, as Senate confirms his nomination, says improvement of logistics, electoral offences commission imperative, speaks on beavers. Let me not bore you with the riders. Because when I read the story, he was trying to say, okay, now that he's in charge, losers will congratulate the winners. He also mentioned that it's not just about him alone. It's about, okay, him working with the NIMC, the NCC, to make sure that everything will work well. Do you believe all of these statements? Because I want to believe that, past INEC chairman have said more than this. Should Nigerians hold on to his words to say, okay, we expect, a better situation with him?
It's just a normal thing, as a public office holder, when you are coming on board for the first time, there are policy statements, you just have to say something. And whether credible or not credible, whether genuine or not genuine, you have to say something. What I just, it talks about losers congratulating the winner. It is possible. In Oyo State in 2023, Teslim Folani congratulated Governor Seyi Makinde. There are some instances where the losers will have no choice than to congratulate the winner. Take, for instance, in Oyo State 2023, Governor Seyi Makinde had over 500,000 votes compared to Senator Teslim Folani, less than 300,000 votes. There was no even court cases on that election. So, it is so, the victory was so glaring, it cannot be debated. It cannot be instituted, there cannot be any court institute, So, it is possible that losers congratulate winners if the process is credible, if the process is free, and if the process is fair. So they do it in developed nations of the world.
Even Jonathan did it at a point.
Jonathan congratulated when it was so glaring. So if the process is credible, free, and fair, it is very possible.
Does that have anything to do with the INEC chairman? Is that not, the integrity of that person to say, okay, I congratulate you because you have won? Does it have anything to do with the INEC chairman?
100% it has so many to do with INEC chairman.
Okay.
When you have an unbiased INEC chairman, when you have a God-fearing INEC chairman, when you have an INEC chairman that is ready to serve the country and not ready to serve those in the side of authority. Okay. It has to do with INEC chairman, because INEC is just a name of an organization. Who is INEC? INEC is the chairman. The name of Atahiru Jega will forever be remembered in Nigeria for one reason or the other. The name of Professor Maurice Iwu will forever be. You remember what happened at the National Assembly when late Professor Maurice Iwu, when some people are saying that he should be honored. You remember? The name of I cannot remember the name of the man now. The man that conducted June 12, 1993 election. The name will always be, because there is no way you remember June 12, 1993 election that will not talk about the person that won the election. That will not talk about the chairman of the NADECO, the FEDECO. What was the name called there? So the name of Amukpito will be remembered for whether positively or negatively.
Same for Mahmoud Yakubu.
Mahmoud Yakub, the name, the man, the man was so lucky when he was there, or let me say he's still alive. He's lucky because very calm, very cool, very quiet. He doesn't talk like Atahiru Jega, but there is something that the most significant electoral history in Nigeria, was in 2015. When Jonathan lost the election to late President Muhammadu Buhari. And that was, the circumstances, will always make Nigerians to remember Atari Jega. During the time of Mahmoud Yakubu, it was transition from the ruling government, from the ruling party
APC to APC.
to ruling party. And it was, the election was characterized with so many, complaints, with so many. You can remember the likes of Elijah, why the election of President Tinubu was being, collated and announced. There was a lot of disruptions by Elijah, but it was still from APC to APC, from Jega from APC, from PDP to APC. And so, Amukwiton will also be remembered for whether for negative reasons or for positive reasons. It's all about the INEC chairman, because the body language of, let me give you an instance. In 2019, in Oyo State, as a reporter, I was at INEC office at Agodi. I know Barrister Mr. Agoke was the INEC rec in Oyo State rec there. And, he was receiving, so many people were calling him. And, I don't know, because I cannot confirm, I cannot say the reason why he was being called there. But Mr. Agoke stood his ground. He called INEC chairman Mahmoud Yakub, and Mahmoud Yakub instructed him to do the right thing. If he called Mahmoud Yakub and Mahmoud Yakub directed him to listen to what those people that are calling him asked him to do, it would have been a different ball game in 2019 in Oyo State. But Mahmoud Yakub instructed him that do whatever you think is right, and that was what Barrister Agoke did in Oyo State. So it's all about INEC chairman.
Okay, so should it be about the INEC chairman alone? I mean, we have about 12 national commissioners, 37 recs. Yes. These people will perform their duties. So should it not be about those people too?
Yes, they are those people who are partners in progress. But what I'm saying is that the body language of the INEC chairman determines. The body language of the INEC chairman will go a long way. Is your boss. And whatever your boss wants you to do, you must do. If you know that your boss is a principled man, is a man of integrity, is a man of honor, you don't want to go against his stand. You don't want to go against his integrity. But if you know that your boss is a man of no virtues, is a man of low character, low morals, is a man of anything goes, you followed suit. You followed his body language. As a matter of fact, you don't even need to consult your boss. Reg, there is a 2 billion naira for you. Let this thing go like this. You may not need to consult the INEC chairman in Abuja. You just do it because you know that even when you consult the INEC chairman, he will tell you to go ahead. So, but when you know that this man is a no-nonsense man, this man is a man of integrity, this man values his name, you always want to also protect your name. You also want to protect your image, because look at what happened in 2023 government election. Look at what happened in Adamawa State. With Adamawa State, I cannot even remember the name of the government candidate of APC there in 2023. When the election result was supposed to be announced, Binani. When the election was supposed to be announced by the returning officer, a university professor, the INEC rec, the electoral commissioner, took it upon himself and announced Binani as a winner.
And that caused a problem.
Yeah, very serious problem. But immediately, Mahmoud Yakub came out and said, no. Some INEC chairman in Nigeria, I'm not going to mention it, will have at the same time came out then and said what the rec did was final. You understand? But Mahmoud Yakub stood together that no, according to the constitutional provisions guiding this process, it is the responsibility of the returning officer, who is a university professor, to announce the winner of that election, not the responsibility of the rec in that state. So, the buck stops on his table. So there is nothing we want to say, but it is the INEC chairman that will deploy rec to states. You understand? After looking at that provides after. So it is if you know that this reg that you are deploying to Lagos State is a man of low moral values and integrity, and you still go ahead to deploy such a man. You don't understand. But as the INEC chairman, you can decide that no, this man's character is questionable. I'm not going to use this man.
Okay.
Then you go for a man with a very good, high quality reputation. So the boss talks on it. So it's all about the INEC chairman. Others are partners in progress. But the INEC chairman must show leadership.
Okay. It's a fine place to leave it, regardless of whether those under him are willing to work. It still depends on the INEC chairman.
Yes.
Let's talk about PDP. I have this headline on Daily Trust that says why our governors are defecting. And when I read some of the stories, yesterday and 2 days ago, they are saying these people are betrayers. The governors are betrayers. But then I want to believe that members of the House of Assembly who are PDP people, they started this defection even before the governors. Does that make them betrayers as well?
No, see, no members of House of Assembly can defect without the consent of the governors, because it is the governor that determines and directs members of the National Assembly. Last week you read a story that APC, was planning to dissolve the state ESCO in Enugu State. You read it last week, Friday. And that preceded the defection of Governor Peter Mbah of Enugu State. Sure, you understand? It has nothing to do with betrayal. Okay, take for instance now, Doyediri, when he left PDP 2 days ago, during his speech, he said he is leaving the PDP with members of his state assemblies. There, you can see the speaker, you can see the deputy speaker, and some members of the Bayelsa State House of Assembly. There is no member of the assembly. See, it happens in Osun State. Some members, they defected to APC. Initially, the initial plan was for Governor Ademola Adeleke to also move. But the power that be in APC stopped him. They said they don't want him. It is in the public space that the governor wanted. The governor and his brother, Dija Adeleke and Davido, they met with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu now. They were at also. Davido released a single, that he sings about the broom revolution and all those stuff.
You don't think it was because interest did not match? That's why he didn't move?
The APC chieftains on ground in Osun State said no. Omishoye was saying it at an event, I think last week. He said, instead for Ademola Adeleke to come straight to the stakeholders in APC in Osun State, he was, trying to meet with people, the outsiders. He mentioned the name of the Ogun State governor, Dapo Abiodun, that, he wanted to use Dapo Abiodun, Ogun State, for him to join the APC in Osun State. And politics is local. So, the APC in Osun State, they said, no, we don't want you. So if the APC in the state, if they are saying, no, we don't want you, there is nothing you can do. The APC chieftains in Osun State, they are so powerful. We have Minister Oyetola, we have Ambo and some of them. They are saying, we have Omishoyako. They are saying, if you want to come to our party, you have to come to us. You don't go to Abuja. You don't join our party from Abuja. You don't go to meet. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu cannot tell us that, okay, Ademola Adeleke is coming here, let's enjoy. No, you have to come to us, then we discuss. We divide and share, and so many things are involved in all this defection and all those stuff. It's not that you just become more money. That's when you see Doyediri, he announced that he's resigning from PDP, but he never mentioned he's joining APC. He said, I'm resigning my membership from PDP.
But the permutations, it was looking like he was going to join the APC.
He will join APC eventually. But before he can join APC, you have to consult so many interests. You have to consult so many stakeholders. So if it pays you, you join. Okay, take for instance now. Senator Siraki Dixon said Governor Doyediri consulted him several times. But Dixon was not convinced. You understand? All those reasons given to him by the governor, he was not convinced. But at the end of the day, Doyediri still moved. So for you to join APC, you have to go to the APC in Bayelsa State, the likes of Timipe Silva. You have to go to them and discuss with them. Do you want me in your party? If I come to your party, what are you going to give to me? You know, how are we going to sort out the issue of governorship in the state? I want to go for senator when I'm done with my term as a governor. You give me ticket. Don't forget that there was a time that people were saying that Governor Seyi Makinde also wanted to join APC in Oyo State, and APC people in Oyo State are saying no. So you have to negotiate. So if you can negotiate your way to, fine for you. Then if not, you remain wherever you are. And at the end of the day, you may be forced to go to ADC or Labour Party. But the truth of the matter is that you cannot go to Abuja and join party from Abuja. You have to come to your state. One of the reasons why people that are promoting that Governor Seyi Makinde will join APC in your state, one of the reasons that the governor is here to join APC is that maybe the negotiation did not run through. That is it.
Okay, I just want to hope that this convention that PDP is planning.
See, seriously, I sympathize with them. I sympathize with Governor Seyi Makinde and the PDP. You know, they are planning. Let me tell you, don't be surprised that you can still have like 2 or 3 governors moving before the eventual
convention.
PDP.
I mean, it's possible.
It is. I sympathize with Governor Seyi Makinde and the PDP.
Okay. But Governor Seyi Makinde, it doesn't look like he's about to give up on PDP yet, regardless of all that is going on.
Well, just like Governor Ayofayoshi said 2 days ago, he said Governor Seyi Makinde is looking for presidential ticket of PDP. But even if you get the presidential ticket of PDP, the ticket is just, Ayofayoshi described the ticket as a tissue of paper.
All right, let's wait and see whether it's tissue paper or not.
Yes,
a big thanks to you.
With 6 governors in the PDP, how can someone compete with, a very thick politician like President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who will be having like 28, 29 state governors? President Bola Ahmed Tinubu was the last man standing in 2003. Okay. When President Olusegun Obasanjo moved against all the 80 governors in the Southwest, he stood. And he won. Until now, Lagos State is being controlled by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Is that man, you want to go and contest with such a man?
Not to counter your opinion, because time is not going on our side, but there was a time that even APC had some governors in some state, and APC still lost those states. So having a governor in that state does not really, amount to APC. But
it's going to be very difficult if you're having a state, 30 state governors, and you cannot win 25. See, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, give it to him. Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a politician.
Let's wait
and this is the first time we're having a typical politician as the president in Nigeria.
Let's wait and see.
Yes.
A big thanks to you, Leko Shobo.
Thank you very much.
A journalist and public affairs analyst, for joining this segment this morning. Thank you for your input. All right, a big thanks to you, the audience as well. Thank you for joining this segment. We need to take a short break, and when we come back, we look at big story. Please stay with us. We'll be right back.